like the 50 or 100 disc player. It was like a jukebox.
Mm-hmm,
It was like, oh, dude, this thing is out of this world.
Yeah, I remember when people had that in their cars. You remember that?
Yeah, it's like the CD player.
Yeah, they had like 100 CDs. And dude, this is what I always thought, man. You know how funny it is to think about someone sitting there and loading 100 CDs?
Hey man, I used to remember taking the CD player and hooking it up like with the tape adapter in your in the radio car, and like you'd be like, hey, bro, don't bump it, man, you'll skip the track if it didn't have the G-Shock.
You had that cheap ass Walgreens shit because you couldn't afford the G-Shock yet.
And then I had a big old binder that had all my CDs in it.
I did too. I always wondered where that went. I mean, I had so many CDs, and
but can you imagine like flipping through CD? Oh yeah, I want to listen to this right now. Okay, take that one out. Put it in. Like, dude, life was hard back then.
Dude, these kids don't know. These kids don't know.
Oh, bro, they got it instant, man. It's all instant.
Dude, we're of the generation that was before the internet.
Yeah.
And there's so many kids nowadays that they've always lived in the internet.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they've all the internet. They've never known anything different. It is crazy.
Technology, man, travels fast.
Technology, it's a trip. All right. There's the playlist, my dude. Thank you.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Pre-game hype. All right. So how you feeling tonight, my dude? Stevie Mac?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm hanging out.
You doing good?
Yeah, doing good.
I do what it's do, homie.
Yeah, I'm cool. Chilling. Ready to do this.
Yeah. All right. That was good. All right.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I mean, they recently...
Sean Johnson. Yeah, I got it. So, Sean Johnson is the incumbent, and so it's like, is Zach Steffen going to come in and just push him out? I mean, maybe.
No, dude, it was totally just a joke, like...
Oh, no. But here's the thing, though. If you read the article, it does talk about that. They'll probably have to loan him out.
Well, of course they'll loan him out, but the joke was that they'll just loan him back to the MLS.
And it is very possible that that's what's going to happen, because it's probably going to be to one of their subsidiaries, one of their affiliated clubs. And for what I know, it's NYCFC, and then I think there's a club in, I think it's Sydney FC, and in the A-League, Australia, unless they're going to send his ass there, which the A-League is worse than the MLS, so that would hinder or hurt his, his growth.
Yeah. I don't know, very interesting. In case you just tuned in right now, actually, we're just talking about how Zach Steffen looks like Manchester City is thinking about putting in a bid for Zach Steffen, the U.S. men's national team current starting keeper, I guess you could say, and current starting keeper of the Columbus Crew. Eric D, why don't you take us through a little bit more detail in that real quick? So just kind of review it again. I didn't really catch the whole thing last time, so go ahead and...
Well, first of all, you guys are listening to All Soccer All Day. I'm one of your hosts, Eric D, in Los Angeles, and that's Stevie Mac in Chicago. What up, Stevie?
Well, we're chilling, and we're talking about these news and notes already.
Oh, man, I hit the wrong link. Hold on. This is show business. So we're talking about Mr. Zach Steffen.
Okay, keep going, dude.
Anybody? No. Hopefully somebody else out there got it. Okay, so yeah, reportedly there's a bid up to almost 8 million. I don't know, maybe. Well, it says 7.8 million euros. So whatever that transfers into U.S. dollars. Supposedly a deal is close. He could join as soon as January 1st. There's an issue, though, with the work permit might prove difficult for City to acquire, since I guess Stefan needs to get more international experience, like for the United national team. I don't know how that works with the whole work permit and all that, but if they were to acquire him from Columbus, I guess he probably would just end up being loaned back out to another club from Manchester City.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we were talking about right before. So,
it's unfortunately some of these players from the U.S. that get bought up by these clubs like a Man City, and then they go over there and they never see first team minutes with these clubs. They get loaned out to various clubs. Like, remember Chelsea bought Matt Miazga?
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever played a second of first team football with them.
I don't think he has either.
So, I mean, I'm excited because it's good to see stuff like this happen to young American players. And then at the same time, I'm like, oh, I mean, are we ever going to really see him as a starting keeper for Man City?
I mean, it would be pretty incredible, but I mean, is he going to... I mean, that's what we were talking about. Like, Ederson is an amazing keeper. He's world class. He's one of the best in the world. I mean, he's not going to go in there and just, like, knock the dude off by any means.
No.
He's so young. I mean, Ederson's got all the experience and all the quality, you know? I mean, yeah, so what I'm reading here right now is if Stefan is loaned, two possible destinations would be a Spanish La Liga club, Girona, or Dutch side NAC Breda, which are both partnered with Manchester City.
Oh, okay.
So it's a Dutch team or a Spanish team. And hey, look, La Liga club, that's some legit experience for sure. And Dutch football is not, you know, they're legitimate. They've been around for a long time. They've got great players there. So, I mean, I don't know. I hope it happens, and I hope that it goes really well. I hope he develops and just helps our national team the best he can.
Yeah, I think on one hand you're excited to see it, and on the other hand you're a little nervous about what it means for him and his growth. I mean, it's a little different for goalies. Their whole trajectory and their growth is different than the field player necessarily. But yeah, it's exciting stuff. I mean, you want to see more of this with the MLS because right now, I mean, whether we like it or not, guys, we're a buying league. We're a selling league, I should say. We're a selling league, and you know, we're not so much a buyer. We're trying to get there, but for now, we have to. Where we're at in the ecosystem of world football, we're going to sell and. You know, hopefully as things go on, we will buy more and more. I mean, eventually you hope to have some superstars in world football in their prime coming to the MLS. But for right now, that's just...
Yeah. And, you know, it takes time. Again, you know, we always talk about how the MLS just in general is a super young league. I mean, every other league has been around for 50 plus years at, you know, like by far, some of them like 100 years at least. Well, what I'm saying is like, you know, the point is even if it's a younger league, it's not as young as us. Like we're brand new on the world football scene. So honestly, like I think the MLS has come a long way, obviously, even from where it used to be, and the quality is much more. We do have a lot of big name players, even if they are, you know, a little later in their career, but hey man, Zlatan,
that's right.
He's slaying it. But anyway, okay, so what? Oh yeah, the only other one that I wanted to mention was I just saw that Bleacher Report article saying that Real Madrid could possibly be accepting bids for Gareth Bale if Gareth Bale doesn't start producing much, and they're expecting Premier League teams to bid. So, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. That's just rumor right now, and who knows. But it's just kind of interesting that that's starting to flash around, you know?
I think if you're Tottenham, you bring him back home.
Dude, that would be nasty, man.
Yeah.
That would be very nasty.
Bring him home, figure out how to get him to work with Kane and the whole system there. I don't know, man. I mean, Madrid is, I don't know, the wheels are coming off a little bit on everything. You know, some of their players have aged in front of our eyes, and it's just, you know, the regime, I shouldn't say regime, but the era, I guess, of what they had going on there is coming to a close. Cristiano Ronaldo's gone.
Dude, isn't it crazy how much Cristiano Ronaldo apparently affected that football club and the morale and everything? Like, I expected it to take a little dip, but I didn't expect anything like this, man. I mean, the squad still has amazing talent.
Yeah, but you got to remember, I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo is in the argument for one of the best players of all time.
Right.
So when you have, it's like, think about Messi leaving Barcelona.
Right.
When that happens, that's going to be a huge hole for Barcelona to fill. That shadow is going to be immense on that place. And it's the same thing with Real. Like, you know, you have a player that was averaging, what was it, over a goal a game or a goal a game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you lose that kind of production. I mean, that's hard to replace.
Well, of course. I mean, no one has that production in the world, pretty much. That's so.
It's interesting. He hasn't been able to even replicate that at Juve.
Yeah, that's also true. But, you know, here's my thought on that, honestly. My thought on that is just that he's still getting comfortable with the system and how everyone plays over there. But, you know, I mean, it's going to take him just a little long. I don't know, man. I told you earlier that I thought he was going to start off kind of slow and then he was going to ramp up. And by, you know, Champions League time, he always shows up, man.
That's true.
So we'll see what happens. But okay, so let's get into Premier League. This was Matchday 13. We're reviewing Matchday 13 right now. A couple of the bigger games, of course. So the first fixture we'll talk about, I mean, this is just another just expected win. Man City 4-0 over West Ham. I mean,
I called it.
Jeez, man, you called that on the dot. 4-0. Dang.
Like, I don't know if I should be excited or happy or kind of depressed that I called it correctly, because it's just proving to you, myself, and everybody out there that Man City is just, they're a beast of a club right now, of a team.
Yeah.
At least in the Premier League. On the world stage, is yet to be proven. But
I see a lot of rankings online having City as the best club in the world, and I can't find a huge argument against that. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, Barcelona, they're still killing.
Yeah, I mean, you got Barcelona, you've got Bayern Munich, stuff like that in the mix. But, I mean, they're just steamrolling teams right now. It's like, dude, West Ham might as well have just not even played. I mean, did they? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, this was expected, so, you know, it is what it is, right? They just tack on 4 more goals. Great. Okay, so the next game that of interest, another top team, Liverpool on the road, visiting Vicarage Road, and they get the win 3-0. Yeah, so this is kind of it's a good showing from Liverpool. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this game? And, you know, does it change your mind about how anything is for Liverpool, or, you know, what do you think?
That's a good question. I feel like there's this malaise over how everything's going with the Premier League, at least how I feel about things because of Man City's dominance.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Liverpool had a great performance. I mean, they 3-0, 3 points on the road, and here I am like, I don't know if it's good enough.
Well, I mean, again, that just shows how dominant City is right now.
And I'm like, I mean, you know, yeah, like I said, I mean, I just can't believe I'm living in this world where I'm like, okay, Liverpool scored 3 goals. They shut out the opposition. They
on the
got
road.
3 points on the road. And I'm still like, I don't know. The fan, and I shouldn't feel that way. I should be happy, but it's just like I feel like Liverpool could possibly have one of their best seasons ever, play their best football ever as a club, and I don't know if it's going to be enough because Man City's just at that high of a level.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be exciting drama to watch the rest of the season unfold. I mean, we'll see how it kind of continues developing, but it seems like right now those are the two top teams in the league, and they're going to be duking it out.
Bad second yellow for Jordan Henderson to get.
Yeah.
And
he's walking off as soon as he tackled him because he knew.
Yeah.
Definitely. But go ahead.
Got to be smarter.
Yep, definitely. So, I mean, look, this could kind of be in news and notes, but this has been in news and notes since before the Premier League started. But Manchester United drawing with Crystal Palace at home. And I saw an article, and this is nothing new, but it's like Mourinho holding on to his job by a thread, the kind of stuff like that. But I don't know. What do you think? 0-0, draw at home.
Obviously not good. I mean, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Like what more can I say that I haven't already said?
Yeah.
Lukaku unlucky. He's really in a slump right now. Not getting any luck, and I know through talking to some Man U supporters that this Man U is dreadful to watch. It's not very exciting. What Man City is doing to clubs is what Man U used to do to clubs in the past. That's what Man U supporters come to expect. And when it's not that way, this is what you get. And it's, like I said, I've told you before, and I'll say it again, Man U is too prominent of a club to be performing like this, period.
Yeah, correct. Well, again, we'll just see and how this continues developing. I don't know. We'll look at the fixtures upcoming for.
What do you say? Well, what do you?
Oh, dude! All I have to say is that Man U is they're just mediocre. It is sad. It's very sad to watch, honestly, because they have so many big names, and honestly, although I'm a Liverpool supporter, I appreciate good football, and you would think that Manchester United, with all the talent they have on their team, would be producing some pretty magical stuff, but I mean, it's just not there. And it's just a bummer because I do tune into the games to watch and see and be like, all right, let's see some, Pogba, Sanchez, like Martial, Lukaku, like, dude, that's stacked. It's stacked.
Yeah.
David De Gea, like what? Like, so yeah, it's a bummer. As far as a fan's perspective goes, like looking to see quality football, it's pretty lame to see all these top names not being able to perform. And again, everyone is talking about how, I mean, what else can it be but Mourinho not being able to figure out how to get this team to click.
Yo, Man U, it's the phone. Pick it up. It's time to sack Mourinho.
Yeah.
I don't know what they see or what's going on there, that other than there's nobody that they can replace him with that's going to be any better. But I guess the question begs to be asked: what is Zinedine Zidane doing, and why isn't he a possible candidate to be the new manager for Man U?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you have to do a little research on that.
Or somebody else. Gotta be somebody else, right?
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll again continue to see just how that kind of unfolds.
Before I forget,
so
kind of going back to the news and notes, guys. I just remembered something. So the rumor is, well, maybe it's not rumor. I guess it's already out of the bag, but it hasn't been officially announced. Tata Martino.
Oh yeah.
For Atlanta United is obviously leaving, and supposedly, air quotes here, he is going to take the Mexican national team job.
Dang.
So yeah, keep a lookout for that. Also, dot dot dot. We didn't talk about this, but the second leg of the Copa Libertadores final,
Oh yeah, it was delayed.
which River Plate and Boca Juniors, was postponed,
Yeah.
and it's all up in the air. Supposedly, there's going to be a meeting of the two club presidents tomorrow. Today, since you are probably listening to this on Tuesday, they're going to supposedly decide what's going to happen with this game, because obviously there has to be a winner or something, because the winner goes to represent CONMEBOL in the FIFA World Club Cups, FIFA World Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup. Yeah, I can
there
say.
you go.
So, yeah, they got to figure this out. And I don't know if you know about the details, but the Boca bus was attacked
Yeah.
by some River Plate supporters, supposedly, and then the police fired tear gas and it got into the bus, and players were vomiting. Somebody had an eye patch. Dude, it's stuff that only happens. Well, I don't know. It's not stuff that only happens in South America.
Well, okay, so this is what I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say that Celtic and Rangers got some stuff to put up if they want to keep that,
yeah,
gnarliest rivalry in the world.
This is kind of stuff that does happen all over the world. We're not so accustomed to it here in American sports per se, but yeah, I mean the rivalry.
That's because people would get shot and killed here.
Yeah, that's true. But the rivalry is very tense down there. And since this is the first time ever that this Super Classico of Argentina has been played in the final,
right?
What's essentially the South American version of the Champions League just makes the stakes that much.
Dude, it's crazy.
So, we'll have to keep a lookout for that and see what's going on with that. But there's a couple more news and notes that I wanted to drop on you, because it's I was looking forward to seeing some of that game, and it never happened.
Yeah.
So,
well, hey, there you go. So dropping it right in the middle of the Premier League talk. So we'll get back to it. But so the big game of the week was Spurs hosting Chelsea, and we're at Wembley Stadium. And man, like you and I were texting during this game, and it's just a shocking display by Chelsea. They lose, and Spurs get the victory 3-1 at home. I mean, I was expecting Chelsea to show up quite a bit more, but Spurs were impressive, man. Oh, dude, Son.
Yeah.
Get off, fool.
He was electric, and he was flying all over the place. And, I mean, he had that great run down the right wing. Beautiful individual display by him, was able to score a goal. But even before that, he was very dangerous. Chelsea the last couple of weeks have just kind of faltered. They drew last week to Everton, right? No, if I remember correctly. And this week, they just kind of lackluster. It was kind of a shocking play when you're going up against... It's like one thing, if you're going up against Everton, you're thinking like, okay, we'll roll these dudes, and it didn't happen. And I mean, they should have won. You got to take care of clubs like that. But it's like, okay, this is Tottenham. This is one of the clubs that's basically competing with you, if not for the title, top four.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of, you come out and you're underwhelming. And I don't know. I was kind of shocked because I did not expect that from Chelsea. I expected it to be a tighter game.
I did also. It cost them third place, man. Tottenham overtook them.
Yeah.
I mean,
and speaking of Tottenham, what is going on with that new stadium? New White Hart Lane is getting delayed, and there's all kinds of politics. And man, I don't know if they're ever going to get in that new stadium or what.
Hey, man, money has to be made somehow. Something's happening.
Something's going on there, but I know that they've talked about they want to obviously get out of Wembley and get into their new stadium.
Right.
It just delay after delay after delay.
Yep.
So,
well, we'll see what happens there. But either way, Spurs hop over Chelsea in the tables, and they take over third spot. So, interesting developments there, which kind of leads us into the next game. If Chelsea doesn't get it together, Arsenal's Arsenal's going to be the next team that's going to bump into the top four, and Chelsea might drop out. Arsenal coming away with a 2-1 victory, not necessarily convincing. Bournemouth at home was playing pretty well, but Arsenal's lucky with that own goal. And so they come away with the 3 points on the road. I mean, what do you think? Arsenal, after the last few weeks, it's been kind of blasé. Does this, give them some confidence going into their next game? Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure is against Spurs. And it is, yeah. I mean, it's basically, it's a huge game, man, for both clubs right now.
Yeah, and I would say both clubs are in form, so it should definitely be a pretty rockin' North London derby.
Absolutely,
should be pretty good. Yeah, I mean Arsenal, business-like performance. I would say. I mean 2-1, they get it done. Obviously, they get a little bit of luck. Bournemouth is a quality side this season. Arsenal's definitely trending up.
Yeah.
But, like we said, it's not rocket science. I mean, if you want to compete for top four, if you want to have a chance at the title, you've got to beat clubs that, sorry, no disrespect to Bournemouth, you should be beating. It's like they take care of business and they get the 3 points. I mean, the only thing better would be to shut them out and to just score more goals. Just basically do what Man City's doing.
Yeah, like Man City someone, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's only one of those. And,
2-1 for Arsenal. It's, again, 3 points. So just to review the tables at this point in time, City, of course, at the top of the tables. They've, they're just dominating. 35 points. They have not lost yet. They've only drawn 2. They have a plus 35 goal differential right now. They've scored 40 goals and only given up 5. It's just stupid.
Yeah, it really is. Like okay, go ahead. I'm gonna do some research here. I just want to see how that compares to some of the other clubs in the world.
Sure.
In their
Well, I'll kind of go down the table set. So Liverpool in second right now, 33 points. They have a plus 21 goal differential. They have not lost in the Premier League yet either. However, they only have 10 wins and 3 drawn. So just behind, not too far behind at all. We'll just see how that goes. Tottenham took third spot over Chelsea. They jumped over Chelsea, and so that's definitely a benefit for them. Chelsea dropping to 4th place, and in 5th place in the hunt right now is Arsenal. So some pretty exciting games upcoming. So let's take a look now at the fixtures upcoming here in Matchday 14. Eric, do you find anything out over there before we get into this?
Well, like in La Liga, Sevilla is tops of the table. They've scored 25 goals but allowed 14. Barcelona's allowed 19. The stingiest team, well, there's 2 actually in La Liga. It's Valencia and Atletico Madrid. They've both allowed only 9 goals. But get this, Atletico Madrid has scored only 17 and Valencia has scored 11.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, these teams are winning some really tight affairs, which I guess is, means the games are maybe somewhat exciting. They're close affairs, but yeah, I mean, nobody in La Liga is dominating like Man City.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to look to see how Bayern Munich is doing. Just curious to see how dominant this run is by Man City.
Yeah. Well, keep looking into that. Let's go ahead also and just start looking into some of the fixtures for the next match day. So let's look over some of the top 5 teams currently. I will mention the other ones, but we won't go into them. So starting on Friday, November 30th. I'm sorry, what?
real quick restart. We just pulled up the Bundesliga. Wow, what's going on? Bayern Munich is 5th in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, man.
I took my eyes away for 1 second. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, the stingiest defense in the Bundesliga is Leipzig, and they have allowed 10 goals.
Jesus, like double. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that City is just rocking right now, and it's crazy because they're doing it to the Premier League, and the Premier League obviously is one of the top leagues in the world, if not the top league in the world, and they're just dominating. So, hey,
Okay, let me look. There's only one other club I can think of that might be dominating.
PSG,
Like, man, yeah, and that's who I'm going to look at right.
Paris. Yeah, check them out. In the meantime, go ahead.
PSG. Okay, do you have that? You have the Man City stats.
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
So, as you guys know, in Ligue 1, PSG is just making a mockery of the French league. They've won 14 games, and they've only played 14 games, so they have yet to draw or lose, obviously. They've scored 46 goals and have allowed 7.
Okay, I mean, Manchester City, again, 11 wins, 2 drawn. They have 40 goals for and 5 goals against. So a little few less scored, a little few less let in also.
How many games have Premier League teams played?
This is our 13th, so next week's the 14th. So
Yeah.
by the end of next week, if City rolls through their next competition, which is, I'm pretty sure it's Bournemouth, I believe. Yeah, poor Bournemouth. They have to visit the Etihad. So, I mean, like, they might end up with a greater goal differential just because, you know?
Well, PSG has played 14 games.
Right.
Everybody in the French league played 14. So they're a game ahead. So, yeah, PSG is the only one that's in Man City territory. And like you said, Man City's doing what they're doing in the Premier League, a league that is head and shoulders better than the French league.
Yeah, absolutely. So, crazy dominant performance by City. Let's go ahead and let's look through the next match day. So this will be match day 14 for the English Premier League. Cardiff is hosting Wolves. Yay. Okay, Crystal Palace hosting Burnley. Woo. Huddersfield hosting Brighton. Yay. Leicester hosting Watford. City hosting Bournemouth. Also kind of just like whatever. Newcastle hosting West Ham. Southampton hosting Manchester United. I mean, that's might actually be a good game, which is kind of crazy to say.
Yeah.
But Manchester United on the road against Southampton. Let's see. Chelsea hosting Fulham. So Fulham going to Stamford Bridge. What do you think? Do you think Chelsea comes back with a vengeance and just takes Fulham out?
You would think so. If you're a Chelsea supporter, that's what you're definitely hoping to see. I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to be at home and they're playing. Now, it's interesting because this is like the West London derby.
Right.
With Chelsea. So, yeah, I mean, you know, come on, Chelsea. If you want anybody to take you seriously, you need to put like a 3 or 4, or even a 5 spot on Fulham if you really want us to take you seriously.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, I love my Cottage. They're not a very good team, and I mean, you're Chelsea. You're trying to, you know, show that you're in the class of all the other teams that are fighting for, you know, top spots there, top 4.
I totally agree with you. So hopefully, you know, if you're a Chelsea fan, you're just hoping for a dominant victory. The 2 games, last 2 for this match day. These are the rivalries. Arsenal hosting Spurs. So, I mean, this is going to be a huge game for both of these teams. Just to give you an idea of the tables right now, Arsenal in 5th place with 27 points. Tottenham in 3rd place with 30 points. So, Arsenal gets this victory at home. They take the 3 points, and they're bumping right on up. At least a tie with Tottenham. It kind of depends on what Chelsea does. If they have a dominant victory as well, and Arsenal comes away with that victory, then Chelsea will jump up to that 3rd spot again. So there's a couple different scenarios there. Obviously, it could be a little jumping around based on who wins and how dominant the wins are, or if there's draws or anything like that. But that being said, Tottenham visiting the Emirates. So I don't know, man. I know you like how I say Emirates. That's how it's spelled, man. Okay?
It's Emirates.
Yeah, you know what? It might be to you, and it might be to everyone else. But for me, I'm gonna pronounce it how I see it spelled. Okay?
Okay. I love it. It's great.
So, what do you think's gonna go down? Do you think Spurs are gonna draw? I don't know.
I mean, there was a time a few weeks ago I would have said, yeah, I definitely take Arsenal. But I mean, the way Tottenham, took care of business against Chelsea, I don't know. I don't expect. I don't want to say Tottenham's going to run away with it, but it could get ugly if Arsenal's not careful.
Yeah, that's very true. But on the same token, Arsenal, they've been showing some strength lately. They've been showing some kind of gutty performances, and coming away with some victories. So I mean, they're at home. Spurs come in. What's your score line?
I'm going to do a Switzerland here and say 1-1.
1-1. Yeah, I know. That's not a bad guess at all. That's hard.
I'm going to draw. I can't split them.
I'll just for fun, I'm going to pick I'll pick Spurs 2-1.
Okay.
But I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so obviously you're tuning into that game. It's going to be very exciting. So get on that one. The other rivalry game happening this week, Liverpool hosting Everton. So I don't know. It seems like Liverpool is going to dominate this match. What are your thoughts on this one as far as the game goes?
Well, Everton's actually pretty high in the table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No joke, definitely. But, you would expect Liverpool as the second-place team doing what they're supposed to be doing. They need to come away with this 3 points.
Yeah, they're playing at home, but it's the Merseyside Derby.
Yep. Everton, by the way, is in 6th place right behind Arsenal. Well, not really right behind. See, Arsenal has 27 points. Everton has 22. So,
a little bit of a gap.
And by the way, Manchester United is in 7th with 21 points. Just to throw that out there.
Yeah. I'll go Liverpool 2-0.
Yeah. Dang it! You're choosing my score lines tonight.
Sorry, man.
All right, you know what? I'll go 3-1 Liverpool. I maybe Everton scores. That's probably not going to happen, but we'll see. Liverpool's only given up 5 goals this season also.
What's going on here? Huddersfield has jumped out of the relegation zone. Come back to the party.
Is that messing up your...
Yeah, they need to get back in there. Southampton right now is holding their place.
Yeah, no joke. And seriously, look, if Manchester United doesn't handle Southampton... man.
Right? Just go ahead and just tell Marino, don't even go to the locker room. Just go straight through the tunnel, out the door, to your car, bye-bye.
Or just walk because there's too much traffic.
Yeah, I don't know how maybe you should just, hang out in a room somewhere in the stadium, let everybody leave from Manchester, go... he can leave in the middle of the night. When everyone's asleep, so no one will bump them off, as I think they say.
Yeah, it's some pretty crazy stuff. But anyway, that's beside the point. So basically, here's the deal. Basically, City looks like they're going to come away with 3 points and another dominant victory. All right. So
they didn't.
Yeah,
Let's
it
put it
would
that way.
absolutely be a shocker.
Man, what?
Yeah. So Liverpool hosting Everton, you would think that Liverpool should come away with the 3 points. Although, again, as you said, Everton's not, they're nothing to sneeze at, and this is a derby, so, but I don't think Liverpool's going to overlook this game, so.
Yeah, what's going on with the schedule coming up here? I'm just looking ahead.
Yeah, it gets kind of crazy. There's like Tuesday, Wednesday games. I mean, it's got to be, I would assume it's because of the holiday season, and they got to pack some games in before Christmas, New Year. Because, last year I'm going to look at this, but last year I remember they had games going like all through Christmas. They had like some specific thing where there was like 30 games and like during the week or something like that. It was crazy. But this year it doesn't seem like they're doing that. They do have some games during that time with games on the 22nd of December and also the 23rd, kind of close to Christmas, but it's not the same thing. So it just seems like they're taking those games out of there and like doing them before so that they got some through.
After this fall, this week that's coming up, this match day. What is match day 14? You said coming up.
Yep.
So I guess match day 15. I mean, it's going to start Tuesday, December 4th, and there's matches on the 4th, the 5th, the 8th, and the 9th, and the 10th.
Yeah, it gets pretty crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but man.
I mean, and then think about this too, just for a side note, because we might as well bring it up. Champions League is today. I say today because it's probably Tuesday that you're listening to this. So Champions League is right around the corner too. So I mean, the schedule for these guys right now in the top clubs, I mean, they're facing off against other top clubs from around the world in the Champions League, and then of course they're facing their rivals in their own local league. And if they start stacking these games closely together like this, I mean, it's going to start showing the depths of clubs, meaning, who has a bench and who doesn't. But also, to me, it just sounds like City's going to run away even further because everyone's going to get tired, and then City's just going to bring on their second squad, which is still better than, I mean, pretty much 90% of the entire rest of the league.
Yeah. That's depressing.
So, I don't know, man. Pretty crazy stuff. But either way, so kind of wrapping up the Premier League right now. A couple of exciting rivalries. Arsenal hosting Spurs and Liverpool hosting Everton. So, there you go. Both those games are on Sunday. Yeah, so I'm gonna be tuning in. It's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for those two games. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's move forward a little bit, and let's move on to the MLS. Go ahead.
MLS.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to say it much longer. I mean, it's a wrap up.
Yeah, then it's gonna be Champions League, man. I guess that's what you'll do every time.
Get ready.
So let's go ahead and let's review these most recent games. Is the first leg of the semifinals, Eastern and Western Conference. The first game, Atlanta hosting New York Red Bulls, and man, what an electric atmosphere, right? I mean, what the hell?
Totally, man. I mean, what can I say? They love their soccer down in Atlanta. Yeah. They're posting let's see what it was announced. They announced an attendance a little over 70,000.
Yeah. That's huge. That's crazy.
I mean, probably that attendance was up there in top 10 in the world for attendance.
Yep, absolutely.
They're doing it MLS and these good old United States of America. And what can we say about the game, man? Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean,
I got fun.
it's just, I mean, the talent that is going down in Atlanta is just crazy, man. Joseph Martinez, that goal was sick. The control with his chest. Are you joking, man? And then put it side netting across the face of the goal. Come on, man, get out of here. And what a strike under pressure with Franco Escobar. I mean, when I say under pressure, I mean this. When a ball comes rolling across the penalty box perfectly like that, perfectly set up, you're running onto the ball, it's coming right in front of you, then it's all about staying cool. Because how many times have we seen that exact thing and it's skied? Because the player just can't, it's too easy. It's too easy, right? And this dude just kills it, man.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, I know. We all do. I mean, seriously, man.
Oh, I got this. Oh, yeah, it's going to be, oh, damn.
Yeah, that's what happens, man. But so, I mean, a beautiful goal. Just a dominant performance overall. And then, of course, you got to talk about this, the call where Bradley Wright Phillips should have been, a lot of people should think he should have had the goal. We have the offside called. What are your thoughts on that, man? You think it should have been the way it was called out?
Initially, I was looking at him like, what? Wait, what happened? What's going on here? And then when I saw one of the angles, I was like, oh, it's because the player, he's in offside position, and he's
screening the goalie.
He's screening the goalie. It's part of the passive or non-passive offside that it's interesting because, you might see some other games and that might not be called. It's just one of those things. Like, should it be called? Yeah. Is it the correct call? Yeah, I tend to agree with it because, I mean, if he's...
Yeah, it's by the law.
By the law, if he's interfering with the play, I mean, he's in an offside position, the attacking team is getting an advantage for that. So, yeah, I mean, it was a nice take by Bradley Wright Phillips. It's unfortunate because, I mean, I think that's going to prove huge that they don't have that away goal to take back.
And I think it would have just changed the momentum of the game to a certain point, and maybe Atlanta doesn't come away with that third goal.
Because they equalized right there with that goal. So, yeah, it's tough to say, but good call. And, I mean, a lot of the talk on Twitter, I should say, is that this is a classic New York Red Bulls performance. Like, if you've been a fan of the Metro Stars in the past, before they've been a New York Red Bulls, like, these kind of collapses in the playoffs, these kind of performances are...
they just plague the history, for sure.
In place, yeah. And, I mean, I guess, okay, when you see the scoreline, you're not so much surprised that a team lost 3-0 to Atlanta in Atlanta. It can happen to anybody. I guess the part of it that's shocking is that happened to the New York Red Bulls.
Right.
But
look, we talked about it last week. I mean, they have broken records this year. Last week we were talking about how we thought they're the most complete team. Yeah. And we're thinking like Atlanta might be a little too young, whatever it is. Man, we like totally ate our shoe on that one. I mean, Atlanta comes out and pretty much just dominates. And New York now going home, they're a 3-0 whole aggregate. Like, what kind of performance do you have to have against Atlanta? You know what I mean? You got to put 4 away.
Well, I mean, they're basically in the same hole to a greater extent than they were when they played Columbus.
True.
They have to have a performance for the ages, basically. Like, they can't. I mean, you have to shut Atlanta out, and you have to score at least 3 goals to tie them on the aggregate. It's a tall ask, and this comes for the argument of, is it really advantageous?
Right.
Oh, I mean, are the whole leg series advantageous to one team or the other? And is it advantageous to the team with the better record or the higher seed to host the second leg? I don't know the answer to that still. It kind of seems like in these instances that it's not.
Right.
Atlanta, they're the lower seed, but they jumped all over the Red Bulls, and now Red Bulls are going home, and they know that they have to score 3 goals, and if any goals are conceded,
It's over.
It's pretty much over. Yeah.
Agreed. So hey, look, it's going to be exciting stuff. The second leg actually happens on Thursday, the 29th. So we'll see what happens there. That's going to be on Fox Sports 1, 6:30 p.m. here Central, so 4:30 in the Pacific.
It's looking like a done deal. I was picking the Red Bulls to win the series. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, but I'll stick with them. I'm going to root for the Red Bulls, see what happens. Hopefully, the improbable can happen, but it looks like the MLS Cup is going through Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely. So, speaking of which, from the West, a 0-0 draw between Portland and Kansas City. So, Kansas City goes to Portland. Hey, man, the draw goes down, and now Portland has to visit Children's Mercy Park. I don't know. Do you think Portland can pull out another crazy victory here?
But here's the thing, just like I said in the last match, I think to a certain degree the pressure's off of Portland. They're going into Kansas City.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
There's all to play for. Portland knows every goal they get is basically like 2 in a way.
Oh yeah.
The pressure is going to be on Kansas City. I mean, they're going to be at home, but they can't concede goals. I mean, Portland's in a better position to go to MLS Cup final.
Yeah, and again, it's you're exactly right on the button there when you're talking about why the second leg is going through the higher seed. Again, why is that really advantageous? Again, both of these series are showing that no, it doesn't seem so. But hey, Sporting is a great side. So I mean, I don't know, man. To be honest, like I was thinking that it would end up being 2-1 Sporting with the victory, and then it would end up going into shootouts. So that's my thought on that game. Just to give a scoreline on the other game, I think that I think Atlanta's gonna score. I think they're gonna score 1. I can't see them not scoring 1. They like their team's ridiculous. Their offense right now is just clicking so hard, man. And look, with Miguel Almiron, we were talking about before when he was out, there was a little bit less production. It just wasn't quite there. The creativity wasn't there. The speed wasn't there from Almiron, and now he's back and he's scoring goals and creating plays, taking defenders with him and just opening up the middle of the field. I mean, I can't see him not at least scoring 1. So even if Red Bulls come away with 2, it's over by a lot. So
yeah, it's a tall task. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's hard to imagine the Red Bulls shutting Atlanta out. I know they had played a few weeks ago in New York. New York looked kind of convincingly, but yeah, it's just hard to see that repeating with the Atlanta squad that I don't think at that time had Miguel Almiron.
No, he wasn't playing. So again, it goes to definitely show the impact that he's having on that team right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the improbable happen, like I said. So I mean, and I was taking Red Bull. So I'll dive. I'll die on that hill. Fall on my sword here, but yeah, Atlanta. I mean, really, honestly, if we're being truthful, I think Atlanta is probably going to win MLS Cup at this point. I don't know how Sporting or Portland go into Atlanta.
I know, right?
Nothing. I just don't see it right now.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I don't see it either. But hey, there you go. Here, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to interrupt you here for a second. We'll talk about it then, but I don't know how I feel about Atlanta United winning the MLS Cup the second year in, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Apologize, I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Atlanta, but it just kind of, I know it's probably going to be sour grapes for a lot of teams.
Well, I mean, again, it's not over till it's over, man. Look, New York Red Bulls aren't out yet, even though it seems like they're out, but they aren't yet. And Sporting is a great side, and you know what? The Timbers have been making a great run, and they have some exciting play. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. And hopefully this next leg will be more exciting than the first. I mean, granted, both Portland and Sporting had some chances, but a 0-0 draw in these playoffs, not very exciting.
Yeah, of course. Agreed. Well, very good. Just to really quickly touch on this, Champions League, of course, going down today, which is Tuesday for everyone. And let me go ahead and look at the fixtures here, see if there's any pretty big games. This is match day 5 of 6 in the group stage, by the way, so we have 2 more games left total, including today's game. Lyon is playing against City, Roma and Madrid. Let's see, Manchester United and Young Boys. That's kind of funny. We'll see how that goes tomorrow, huh? Juve Valencia. Let's see, Atletico Madrid and Monaco. I mean, these are obviously the big games here. There's a couple big games. The first one, in my opinion, of course, our opinion, but PSG and Liverpool. I mean,
the rematch in Paris.
Yep. It's going to be definitely a pretty exciting game. And then Tottenham, Inter Milan. So those are 2 pretty exciting games, especially including Premier League clubs, which of course we definitely follow the Premier League. So these Premier League teams, seeing how they perform on the world stage, I don't know, man. I'm really excited for the PSG Liverpool match. I think that it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
By the way, the PSG Liverpool match is on Wednesday, not tomorrow, or not today, which is Tuesday. So that everyone understands that. So is Tottenham Inter. That's on Wednesday.
So Liverpool's got to be one of the few clubs this season that's given PSG a loss.
Yes, absolutely. So, if you're looking at the standings there, it's Napoli, Liverpool, PSG, right? And Belgrade has 4 points right now at this point, too. So it's a really tight group right now. There's 2 more games right now. And so all of these games really count. And so this Liverpool-PSG game could definitely shape the outcome of Group C in the Champions League.
Liverpool to actually get out of the group.
Yeah, man. Kind of dominating Group A, Dortmund and Atletico Madrid. Both these clubs are 3-0-1. They have 9 points. Dortmund's ahead on goal differential with 6. So Group B, Barcelona and Inter, and Tottenham is, they're chasing Inter right now. So that's why this is a big game for Tottenham. Tottenham in 3rd place with 4 points. Inter Milan in 2nd place with 7 points. So, if Tottenham could get this victory, it could put them possibly in 2nd if they overtake them with that goal differential. Group C, Napoli, Liverpool tied with 6 points. Right behind them, PSG, 5 points, and then Belgrade, 4 points. So really tight group, Group C. Other than that, kind of looking around, let's see a couple more Premier League clubs. Manchester City and Lyon right now at the top of Group F. No real big surprise there. Let's see, Madrid and Roma tied 9 points each. So that's actually going to be deciding 1st and 2nd place in Group G, unless of course they draw. But Madrid, we'll see if they can show up for their Champions League there. And Group H, Juve on top with 9 points. Manchester United with 7 points in 2nd place. It's still match day 5 in this group. group stage, and there's another match day after that, of course, as well. So all to play for right now. A lot of these clubs, I mean, if they're not at the top of their league at home, they're definitely going to want to perform in the Champions League.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, for some of these clubs, obviously both competitions are important. Some it's more so about Champions League.
Mm-hmm. Especially with a team like Madrid right now.
Yeah, I mean, I said this in the past, and I'll say it here. I prefer that Liverpool win the Premier League. This is me personally, because it's something they haven't won in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Champions League is not prestigious, it's not important, but if I had to pick between the two, I would take the Premier League. That's just me. I mean, I know it's because paramount, and everybody wants that over everything, but yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, I think that a victory in the Premier League would be definitely, I don't know, almost more of a accomplishment at this point. I don't know if I can really say that, though. I mean, Champions League, man, it's like the best clubs in the world. You know?
Well, I mean, it's like if the way it's told is that basically Champions League is the pinnacle of club competition.
Yeah.
You know, it's like even Champions League. I mean, there's nothing higher, basically, even though it should be the FIFA Club World Cup. But yeah, it's kind of an afterthought. And then after that would be your domestic league and cup and stuff like that. But like I said, I mean, Liverpool has won Champions League more recently than they have an actual Premier League. So,
well, we'll see what ends up happening. Man, so some exciting stuff coming up. I'm looking forward to Matchday 14 in the Premier League. Looking forward to these second legs of the MLS playoffs happening November 29th. That's a Thursday. And looking forward to Champions League. I mean, soccer like every day, man. It's a good soccer too, right?
Yes, it is back.
Yeah. So pretty exciting. Wrapping up here, I mean, you got anything else you want to put in?
No, not that I can think of. I'm just hoping this River Plate Boca Juniors game can actually happen.
Yeah, keep your eye out for that. We'll see what goes down.
Yeah.
Well, very good. All right, man. Well, wrapping up. Hey, we just want to say thank you for all listeners. If you made it all the way through this episode, you guys rock. Patreon supporters, thank you so much. And of course, thank you to Vaporgate, our sponsor. Check them out, vaporgate.com, for all your vaping needs. Hey, everyone's awesome. And as we always say, enjoy the games and don't hate.
Don't hate!